Okay, guys. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, trust we are all doing so well, so great, and I believe everybody has actually submitted their assignments, and they have also gone through the resources I shared on Google Classroom concerning today's topic. So, just the questions that I asked: what is the or definition of flowchart and the wireframe? A lot of us are saying like it's a guide or how user is going to navigate through the project, the app that you are working on, or the solution you are trying to um, create for your users. And then the wireframe, I like using the word skeletal, just like a skeleton of your digital design that you're going to carry on. So it is easier for you to say it this way so that someone who is finding it hard to understand what is flowchart and wireframe will quickly understand what you are trying to say. So today we are going to talk about flowchart and wireframe. What is the difference? What are the importance? What are the benefits? Why is it necessary? Why is it under user design process? So today we are going to look at all those things and then move on to the practical parts where I get to show you how to create flowcharts and wireframe. First thing first, flowchart comes before wireframing. So this is actually how a flowchart look like. So I believe we've seen this thing randomly. So this flowchart is actually done on FigJam, and I believe we see this kind of thing randomly somewhere else, and then you say, oh, I love this, how this has different colors and different shape. What does it mean? So this, whenever you see something like this, even if it's just one simple color, one simple write up, but as long as it is like this is what a flowchart actually look like. And I believe some of us have actually seen something like this. So this is what a wireframe look like. Okay. So today we are going to talk about flowchart. Let's start with flowcharts first because flowchart comes before wireframe. Now, flowcharts, you can call it flowcharts, you can call it user flows, you can call it UX flow. Anyone you want to call, you are free to call it. Okay. Now, user flow, UX flow, or flowcharts, as they are sometimes called, are diagrams that display the complete path a user takes when using a product. These flowcharts lay out the user's movement through the product, mapping out each and every step the user takes from the entry point right to the final interaction. Just like how we have our Telegram. There are some persons that just downloaded Telegram for the first time while trying to join this training. So when you downloaded the app, what was the first thing you did? You actually created an account. Okay. When creating your account, you put your phone number, put your two-step verification if you want to do update your profile, use your username. Even when I said, okay, you're not going to use your nickname or just your random name, you're going to use your full name. You went to your profile to change it to your full name you actually use for this registered bootcamp. So every activity that you did, like everything you did on Telegram, is actually that like your movements. Your movement on Telegram is actually done like a flowchart was actually done so that you can actually navigate from one screen to another or any layers to another. Just like our bank app, you cannot use our bank app without having an ATM card. I will say this based on GT. GT, you cannot use GT app without a bank card. So you need your bank card before you can actually use GT app. So where you have to download the app. Once you download the app, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your phone number that you are using to receive your alerts, be it credit or debit alert or whatever information they have. Your phone number, then you put your card number, maybe the last phone number or the first phone number, depending how your own bank works. Then you put it, then you create a password, and then once you create a password, you're going to receive maybe an OTP or something like that. So once you are done, then you can now go into the app and then start navigating or moving from one screen to another. So all those, before you can have that digital product, a flow chart is being created by the designers, UX designers. They are created by designers like to it's like a path where you have to navigate. Just like someone that wants to travel from Abuja to Port Harcourt by road, and then I'm going to give you a map and tell you, okay, when you get to this place, from this state, from Abuja to Kogi State, from Kogi State to Edo State, from Edo State to Anambra State, from Anambra State to Imo State, and then you welcome you to River State. So just those things is just like a map where, or a map. Yes, let's use the word a map or a diagram that shows the paths a user is actually going to take when using this product that you're actually trying to build, be it any kind of product that you're trying to build. Okay. Now, flowcharts are a variable tool in UX designs for visualizing, mapping out the user's journey through a digital product or system. Now, flowchart is very, very important. Just like what we said during introduction to UI UX, I said everyone can create a UI without UX, though the design is actually going to look beautiful, but a lot of things are actually going to miss out. Imagine when I said, okay, I want you guys to design a food app for me, and the first thing you did was just to create an account using the design tool, and then you open your Figma, and then you start looking at people's design and then start designing it. Now, when you don't have a direction, no destination, you don't even have a map at all on this product, you don't even know the solution you're trying to solve for this problem, all you just want to do was just to get the money, do the design, and then you're good to go. Which is actually what I say. You're going to use the right font, you're going to have the best color, but your product is actually not going to have a right. It's actually not going to have a right. Let me use the word a right map, a right directions. Okay, everything that the US, every process that needs to be done under US actually going to be missing, because you just want to do a design because yes, there's food app delivery mobile application out there. You just want to do your own. You get his flowchart is actually very, very important. Just the way same way when I was talking about user research, when I said you cannot just keep quantitative and do only qualitative. You cannot just keep qualitative and do only quantitative. You need the two. The only thing that you can skip is yes, qualitative have three section, quantitative has three section. You can just pick one section there, do for qualitative, and pick one for quantitative, and then you're good to go, and then you move on to the next stage, just like what you guys did on the assignment. So user flow or flow charts or UX flow, whatever way you want to call it, is very, very important in the UX design process. They help designers and stakeholders to understand the step a user will take to accomplish a task or a goal. So that is one importance of use flow charts. Okay. In UX design, designers use flowcharts mainly to plot how users move through an interface, such as an app, to achieve a goal. Now, we all use Jumia and Konga on any other e-commerce website there. You want to shop for clothes online, and okay, let's say a client reached out to us and said, I want to build an application where user is actually going to buy clothes, make payment online, and then get the clothes delivered to their doorstep. Now, what you as a designer, what you're going to do, you're going to sit down and then map out a flow, map out a map, map out a diagram, how you want users to navigate through this application or through this interface or through this product. Okay. Now, this describes the relationship between page and screens and shows all in the interactive possibility, the starting point, action required, moment of decision, and end point as user encounter and use interface. Now, what this actually means is you are mapping out a diagram or a map for a product, an e-commerce product. What you need to do is, now this flowchart is like, okay, as a new user, what will I do? I'm going to sign up. So once I sign up, what is the first thing I'm going to do? What is the first thing I'm going to do? What is the second thing I'm going to do? Am I going to encounter a roadblock that will require this information that I will have to go and provide before I will continue? So all those things is just like, okay, there's going to be action required. There's going to be a starting point, a action required. There's going to be a moment of decision. Are you saying yes or are you saying no? Is it something that you need to encounter? Like, let's say endpoints where you have to say, okay, we are ending here. Okay. Now, this also aims to account for the various factors that impact users' interaction. Since flowcharts are highly visual, they are variable referral points throughout your project. Now you've done your flowchart just the same way when you've asked your questions, one-on-one interview, you put out the questions, add the option, and put it out there for people to help you answer to get different response from different users. That is how flowchart is. When you've done your flowchart, you're not going to put the flowchart out there. You can just say call one or two, or maybe in your team, and just say, okay, this is how you want users to navigate through this product, where you have to explain the flow for them. Now, this is actually not done like asking your users question, telling them to go through your flowchart and see. Most of them might not actually understand that diagram. So flowchart are being done in a team where you have to come together and explain, okay, I've gone to understand my user, I've actually know their pain points, I've actually know their goals, okay, this is the solution I'm trying to provide for them. Just like the last time I complained, I said, I love to attend events, but most events I love to attend, their tickets are being sold at the venue. And each time I go there, tickets are sold out, and there is no way I can join others inside because I don't have a ticket. All I have to do is pay my transport back to my state, which is making me spending costs of not achieving this particular goal that I want to achieve. Now, you as a UX designer, you've come to me, I've told you my problem, you've gotten my comments, you've actually gotten everything you want, like my pain points, and you've actually understand my needs. All you have to do is just to go back there and then map out a diagram of how you want to create this digital product, so I can just be at home and then register for this particular event, buy your ticket online. All I have to do is just pay transport on that day, go to the event, show them my ticket with my name on it and the day I bought the ticket, and then I go inside. So all you have to just sit on your own end, open your FigJam, try to map out this thing. Okay, Helen, what if Helen downloads the app? What is the first thing she's going to do? She's actually going to go through the onboarding to see the activity or the information that the app has. And once she's done, you're going to have a welcome page that will tell her, okay, she needs to sign up as Jesus. What was that noise? Please mute, please. Where she has to sign up as a new user, or sign in or log in as a existing old user. So that's how the app is done. Once she's done, what is the first thing? She's going to look through the app to see all the activity or all the event that the application has, and then she's going to make a choice, read the event description. Once she's done reading his event description, she can actually pay for this event if it's actually what she wanted and the fee is okay for her. And then once she's done, she's just going to go to her profile to update the information. Now, before then, while she's trying to make purchase for the the tickets, while she's making payment for the ticket, she's either going to make a bank transfer. Now I'm talking about the payment process. Now she's either going to make a bank transfer to maybe an account pay stub, or the application is going to generate for her, or she actually can link her local bank card where they will take the money to make payment for the tickets. And then once she's done, she can go to her profile to update her profile if there are any information actually missing. She can actually put let's say she can actually, if she did not put her information correctly, like let's say if she didn't put her information, or if I didn't put my information correctly while trying to sign up, I can go to my profile to make that corrections. Okay, so this is how the app is. So now you've explained this thing to your shareholders, your team, and then they see that, okay, this thing is okay, and then that's when you will now have to move to wireframe. Now, when you're trying to create all these flowchart, there are particular shapes that stands for each thing you want. Your starting point has a particular shape, your action required has a particular shape, moment of decision too has a particular shape, the ending point has a particular shape. So when we get to that, I'm going to explain to you I'm going to show you how the shape look like, and then explain to you what those shape stands for. Now, why do we need flowchart? Why is flowchart just important? Just like what I said, it is very, very important for you to map out the journey, or map out the direction, or map out a diagram, so that your user will, so that you will know how your user will actually, or just like, let's just use the word, so that you know how, or you tell how user is actually going to navigate or through that product. So flowcharts are essentials in UX design, as they offer a systematic approach to mapping out users' interaction and experience within a digital product or system. By visualizing by visually representing the flowcharts, designers can gain insights into the user journey, including their actions, decisions, and potential pain points. This structured visualization allows for identification of bottleneck or area of confusion, enabling designers to refine the user experience for usability and satisfaction. Now, just like what we said, I will keep saying it and over again. You cannot, UI does not exist without UX. Now, look at, someone wants to design an e-commerce website or application or web application, and we reach out to you and you just open your Figma and then you design something. Trust me, if this project is actually being implemented and is up and running, and I went through this product and I'm not satisfied with my navigation, trust me, I won't come back. I'm not saying it because I am a designer. I'm saying it based on a user, because I don't want to use an application that is actually going to frustrate me. Why are you trying to solve a problem for me, and you're solving the problem and you're frustrating me on top? This is not what a user wants. This is not what a user wants. A user wants something that you're solving the problem for me. Don't frustrate me. Give me satisfaction. That is why UX is very important. You get to know your user, get to understand them. When you understand them, you will now know, oh, this is the particular pain point that this person is having. Okay, now for me to know the particular pain, I will then proceed to asking the person, what are your goals? What do you want? And that is where you have to create that. Remember, we talked about user personas, where you get to know your user. Now, you get to know your user based on this particular project. Now, under, you've written or you wrote down this person's pain point. My pain point is, I don't know where to buy tickets online and I need to attend this event. And I expect to tell you this particular pain point. This person will tell you this particular pain point. For people that did questions on food app, I'm a tech person. I don't have time to cook. This is one of my pain points. I don't have time to cook, and I'm always hungry. I'm not living healthy. I'm trying to tell you my pain point, and then Maureen will tell you, okay, she doesn't like to cook. She doesn't like to cook. And Roland will tell you he doesn't like to wash plates. So all of us are telling you our pain points. And all you have to do is, all we want is, we want an application where I just have to download, sign up, and order the kind of food I want. And then you deliver to my doorstep. Don't worry about the delivering fee. I will pay. This is the solution that we all want. And what you have to do now, you get to understand us and know our pain points. You've actually, even without telling you our goal, you've, as a UX researcher or UX designer, you've actually understand our goals, and then you write it down. What is the next thing you do? You have to go back and then map out or draw a diagram that's actually going to solve this problem for us by designing a food app where we just get to choose any restaurants of our choice instead of paying transport from my location to so location. Now imagine where I'm staying. I'm living in an environment. And like, for people that know their way around Port Harcourt, there's a place called Oyibo. Oyibo is actually not like a town, but it's a mini town where you get to see these touche restaurants out. And in my place, before I will come out, I will have to take bike 500 to come out. And when I go, they'll tell me, okay, there is no fried rice. Fried rice has finished. And I want to eat garri and soup. And they'll say, okay, the only soup we have is this offo soup. And I'm someone that doesn't eat offo soup. I will have to pay my transport back home and then buy granite and garri and then enjoy again for the next day. And then I ask them, what time will you people open? When time will the food be open? And they'll tell you they don't know. Just come between 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. I will have to go back home hungry. And all those things are my pain points I'm trying to explain to you. All you have to do is just to, now, or you understand me. That's why user research is very important. you get to understand me. Oh, okay, this is the problem that Helen Chimike is actually facing. This is the problem that Roland is actually facing. This is the problem Maureen is trying to is facing. And then you have to do just to sit down and then map out a diagram for us that will say, okay, just download the app. Once you sign up, you go through the restaurants you want, see the available food, then check the amount, and then if you're adding extra dishes, adding extra anything, you can then add, then make payments, then see subtotal, see your delivery fee to your location. When you add your location and all you get, you've after. So I don't even need to start taking buy from my place to that place. Roland don't even need to suffer himself going to the market. Maureen don't even need to say, okay, since she's someone that doesn't like to wash plates, she will even stress herself even buying the plate, talk more of cooking. All we just have to do is just to sit down and then place an order with our just place our order with our phone, because you've actually solved this problem for us. Okay, you can see why flowchart is actually important, very very important in the UX process. Same thing as wireframe, they are very very important, very very important, because you don't want to build a product. When you build a product now and developers are actually, okay, let's say Marvelous is a client. Then I'm going to start. Sorry, I'm using our our names. So Marvelous is a client, and she reached out to Shegu and Mikey, and both of them are designers. And let's say I'm going to use another person. Let's say Ebenezer is actually a developer. And Marvelous budget is 1 million naira for this product, and she has paid Shegu and Mikey to design this project. And both of them just said, okay, we're going to look at clothes. We're going to look at Jumia food. We are going to look at Uber food. Is it Uber food or both food? We are going to look at these apps and then generate our own. By the time they just open Figma and do this random thing, and you will not blame Ebenezer, because he's actually a developer, and he will just assume that for these designers to come up with this design, they have actually done research, and all he has to do is just open his VS Code and then start implementing what Mikey and Shego has done. And then by the time he start implementing, as a developer, when you are implementing a work, you'll be testing that product, and you are testing the product, and you are encountering some obstacle where you are on this screen, you don't even know where to navigate to or even go back. You're confused, and you reach out to people and they'll tell you, just do this. And now you're not thinking as a developer, you're thinking as a user, telling them that this is actually going to frustrate user, and they'll tell you, okay, don't you want your money, or you want your money? And because you are broke, you want to do it, and then you now have to do it without minding how your user is actually going to feel. And by the time you are done, you won't even have, okay, let's say you just push the product and you just back out from the project because you've collected your money in full. And then then you now push this product. Let's say Marvelous actually preached this project to me, and then she gave it to me. She sent me the link for me to download. And I downloaded it, and I'm even frustrated while trying to sign up. I won't come back again. I won't. And let's say I'm actually a good person. I will now reach out and say, this thing, there's plenty error. Do you think another person is actually going to experience that experience? And she said, don't worry. And then she pushed to over 50 persons, and everybody is complaining the same. And then this is where she will now say, okay, let's work with US research. Imagine she has paid 1 million naira on this project, and then the next project she have to pay, and this is what I'm telling you, for we to carry out this user research, you have to pay 1.5 or even 2 million. And by the time she moved this money, you can see that she has already spent 3 million naira on this particular project that she could have just spent at least less than 2 million and get the project completely done that is going to satisfy users. You get? Now, however, flowchart serves as a variable communication tool, collaboration, and alignment among cross-functional teams by providing a shared understanding of the intended flowchart and interaction. Now, just like what I said a few minutes ago, I said it is not compulsory. In fact, it is never done. I've not done it where people will actually come up with a flowchart and push it for users to go and look at it. I don't do that. I've never seen or never heard. So flowchart is like in a group of team. Like, let's say Mikey and Shego are developer. Ebenezer is a developer. Elizabeth is a developer too, and Deborah is actually a developer. Now this 5 person, including Marvelous, the clients, there are 6. So if Mikey and Shego are done with the flowchart, this is where they will now have to call for a meeting and say, okay, developers, so Mrs. Or Miss Marvelous, so as the client, come, oh, we've done the flowchart. Oh yeah, let's look at it together and see if this thing is actually going to be a satisfaction for users. Now, everybody is actually not going to think as a tech person. Everybody is actually going to look at it from the local side of a user. Like, you need to put yourself in the shoe of a user. Imagine that you're a user and go through it, because every designer, we're actually a user. Even you as a designer, use product that you're using, you're actually a user. That's why sometimes if I'm looking at this product, I don't think as a designer, I think as a user. So this is where everybody will now have to go through it and say, okay, we are on one track. This thing is actually okay, is good. The flow is okay. And let's say Ebenezer encounter maybe something that is not clear, and he brought out the point and said, if a user navigates from this screen to this screen, do you think it's okay? And then everybody will look at it and say, okay, it's okay, and this person say it's not okay, and you tell us the reason why. It's just like it's like a shared communication, it's like a shared idea to understand this project. Okay, this collaborative approach ensures that these design decisions are informed, that the final product meets the needs and expectations of users. Now, this is why it's very, very important for you to actually build a flowchart, share with your team to be sure that you are in line with what the users want. Now, you're building a project. You want to build a product for me so I can buy tickets online. And I tell you what I want. I want to start buying tickets online. So what you're going to do, you're going to build a project that is actually going to in line with what I want, because you've carried out a research, you've asked me questions, and I've answered you. You've already know what I want. So what I want, you should build your project based on what I want. So it will give me a good satisfaction. Through collaborative exploration and refinement of flowcharts, teams can collectively identify opportunities for enhancement, address potential feasibility issues, and deliver a more refined and satisfied product. Overall, the use of flowcharts in UX design promotes collaboration by providing a shared visual language that empowers teams to work together towards creating great user experience. Now, you've seen the reason why we do need flowcharts in our UX design process. It's very, very important. Even if you're not working with a group of team, even if you're just a one man, you're just on your own, you're trying to build a project you're going to put on your portfolio using the US case study, you actually need a flowchart. Because let's say you want to put your work out there, people are actually going to see the process you actually pass through, and people, before they will even see your interface, they need to see your flow charts to say, okay, this is how I'm going to navigate. Because when you're putting your design out there, you're just going to put it scatter. Nobody's actually going to imagine the way I'm not going to put myself in your head and know what you did there. So from your flow chart, once I see your flow chart, I will now understand what you actually design out there. So that is why you need flowchart, whether you're working on your own, on your personal project, or whether you're working on a team. You need flowchart as a designer. Like, it is very, very important. It is an essential tool in the UX design process. Now, we have some types of flowcharts. So UX flow can be used for all kinds of interface and web design, mobile or web or tablets or even watch. You can use flowchart for all those things. But certain type of flowcharts are more variable than others depending on what you are creating. Now, here we describe a few of user flow variations and when to use them. Now, first thing first, we have the task flow. Now, task flow is one of the type of flowchart that we have. Now, task flow focus on one single feature a user can perform without other parts. They are tropically created when user enter at the starting point and accomplish a task in the same way. Now, what this actually means is, let's use Jumia. Everybody knows Jumia. If you don't know Jumia, just go and buy something, even if it's 1,000 naira something on Jumia, so that you will know how Jumia actually works. Now, let's use Jumia as an example. Now, Jumia is an e-commerce application where you can buy and sell. Same thing with Gigi, same thing with Konga, but I'm going to use Jumia because Jumia is familiar. Now, Jumia is, now what this type of tax flow means now is it focus on a particular feature that a user is going to perform. Now, okay, I think I'm going to explain with an image so that you actually understand. Now, this is an image that says product view, select size, click on buy, put your shipping address, and then place your order. Now, tax flow focus on a single feature that every user on that particular project or particular product is going to pass through. Now, that is why I use this image, checkout, because every user that wants to do something on Jumia is actually going to view that project. Is actually going to select the size. Let's say somebody wants to purchase an hoodie. You're going to view that project. When you read it, you want to know the kind of thread they use, the kind of fabric, the kind of let's say it's a particular color. Let's say one type of color. You want to know the type of color. You want to know the type of rope. You want to know the type of elastic that they use on this hoodie. And then once you're done reading, you're going to select your size. You're going to select your size. Once you select your size, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to click on buy now. When you click on buy now, it's going to take you to your checkout where you have to put your shipping address and your payment information. And once you are done, you click on buy now or whatever, or confirm order or order sent, something like that. You get. Now, this process that I just explained from this image now is like a particular feature that every user on that particular project is going to pass through. Now, that is what it means. That is tax flow under type of flowcharts. Now, remember, flowchart is like a general name that says it tells a user from the beginning of the project to the end of the project. And inside, you know the kind of decision you want to make. You know the actions required. And then inside the type of flowchart, we have tax flow. Tax flow is like a single feature that all your user is going to pass through. And I'm just giving you this example. E-commerce, where someone wants to buy or purchase food. Okay. Now, the next one we have is wire flow. Now, most of us that watch the video, we understand what wire flow is, because wire flow is, let's start with wireframe. Wireframe is like the skeleton diagram of your design. Skeleton UI, like just like what I showed you on the beginning of the this class, how your wireframe looks like. It's just there, line, shape, no color. It's just maybe something you just draw there. Now, another type of flow chart is the wire flow. Now, as the name suggests, wire flow is a combination of wireframe and flow charts. And instead of using shapes to combine movement, this is where you now use your wireframe for each screen. This is where you now use your wireframe for each screen. Now, wire flow add page contents to UX flow, since what users see on each page to signify impact their experience through this product. Now, from the first image that we looked at, so I'm going to take us to the first. Okay, let me show you guys. Okay. Now, for the first image like this, wire flow means connecting from this screen to this screen, and this to this, and this to this. Now, it doesn't mean it's from this shape. It means from a particular element. Now, for example, it means from a topic 1 straight to this screen. Now, let's go straight to this screen. And then you click on one of these tutor, and then you see the description, the information of the tutor, and then you send the tutor message. That is what wireframe means. Sorry, that is what wire flow means. Now, look at this image. Same thing as that our hoodie example that I gave. Now, from this image, you see that this is how the image look like. You've gone through the image of this product. You've gone through the description. You've seen the kind of thread, the kind of elastic, the kind of material, fabric, the kind of rope, the kind of everything that they use for this hoodie. And then you select your size, medium, and size 10. You select your size. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to add to cart that will take you to the next screen. Now, which is the checkout, which is the add to cart or checkout. And once you are done, you're going to take you to checkout, where you're going to say, okay, let me make this hoodie to be 2 so that I can buy for me and my twin sister. And then you add it to your cart, or maybe you and your twin brother, or wherever you want to buy to. You now make the quantity to be 2, and then you see your total. Then no shipping fee. So by the time you click on this checkout, it will now ask you for your shipping address. And once you are done with your shipping address, you will now make payment. Now, from this image, you can tell this is what a wire flow look like. So for those of us, when we switch to wireframe, and then I'm talking about you're going to do prototype for your designs and all, you can understand also, oh, okay, this is why wire flow is actually very important. Okay, so number 2 type of flow charts that we have is wire flow, where you have to connect the elements in one screen to another, like the element from screen A to screen B, the element from screen B to screen C, the element from screen C to screen D. So that is what a wire flow actually look like. Now, the last one we have is the user flow charts, whatever you want to call it, UX flow. Yes, it's actually another type of flow chart. So it's actually another type of flow chart that deals with the mapping of the whole product from the beginning of the product to the end of the product. They are the same end goals, but user flow creates different path and journey to accomplish these goals. But user flow creates different paths and journey to accomplish these goals and help identify different ways of users' competition, which is what we all know. Where you get to see the start of the product, search for the product, select the product. Are you going to buy it? Yes, I will buy it. Click on pay now. You don't have money to buy it. You're not going to buy it now. You add it to cart. You go. Now you have money. You have money to pay. Are you going to do pay on delivery, or you're going to pay now? Is a decision too. Then if you say, okay, I'm going to pay now, okay, then you have to put your card information. Then when you put your card information, you put your shipping fee address, your shipping address. When you put your shipping address, you place your order. But if you're going to do pay on delivery, which is actually a decision, either you're paying now, either you're paying with cash or with cash transfer, or you're paying with paying on delivery. Then you now say, okay, you put your shipping address and then you confirm. When the item gets to your doorstep, then you have to transfer the money through their Jumia Pay. Okay, so this is what a flowchart actually looks like. So a flowchart is a diagram that shows how a user is going to navigate through your products. And then types of flowchart. We have the please, can you mute, please? We have so type of flowchart we have the task flow that deals with a particular feature that every user is actually going to perform. And the next one we have is the wire flow that deals with the elements on screen A down to the screen B, and element from the screen B to the screen C. And the last one we have is the user flowchart that deals with the entire flow that a user is actually going to navigate through your product to show the different journey of a user. Now let's talk about this flowchart symbol. Now, just like this previous image that we have different symbol here. We have this, and we have this. Why is this one actually different from this? Now, in this particular place, we're going to talk about the flowchart symbols. Now, the first one we have is the terminator, which is actually giving us the shapes. So this marks as a start or end of a process. Now, download the app. You download the app. So you're going to use this shape. You're going to use the shape, which is like this start. Now you can see that start and end is this way. End and end is this way. Just how this particular symbol is telling us this is the start or end of a process. Now, the next one you're going to see, you're seeing this line. Why is this one connecting from this to this? Why is it linking to this place? So those arrows stands as a connection or direction of a flow. So those one stands as a connection or direction of a flow. Okay, so that is what it means. Now the next one you are seeing is this particular shape, this particular one that looks like a rectangle, or that is a rectangle. So what it actually means, it means a process. Like let's say the home screen, the profile page, the add to cart, product description page. So that is what it means, just like a process. Okay. Why this other one that says input or output? It means it represents input or output operations where you know you're going to type something, like your checkout page where you have to input your card details, a screen where you have to sign up, you're typing on it, your login screen, you're typing on it, your forgot password, your create password, your OTP, your shipping address. As long as you're going to input information or input an operation on that particular screen, it is known as this. It's going to be in this format. Okay. Then the last one, which is actually giving us this shape, is actually, it means a decision where the result is going to say yes or no. Now in this image we have here, now it's saying, are you going to buy it now? So you can tell that this is actually saying no, add to cart, and then you close, you go from the app. But it's saying yes. Then do you want to pay cash or cash up now, or you want to pay later? Then it's actually a decision. So you could tell that the decision is actually giving you an arrow, yes or no. It's just like I'm going to use e-commerce, just like an e-commerce where it's asking you, do you want to make payments now? Yes. Yeah, you want to make payment now? Oh yeah, add your card details. You don't want to make payments now. Oh yeah, it's going to be paid on delivery. Same thing, like maybe let's say let's switch now to the event part where you say you've gone through this event information, you like it and you would love to attend, but you don't have money now. You'll be paid your salary by the month's end, and this is just 20th of July, and your salary will be paid on the 1st of August or maybe 31st of August, and you have like 11-12 days to buy this ticket because this event is maybe in October, maybe 2 months time, and you want to attend this event. You can just add this event ticket to your cart, and whenever your salary is being paid, then you have to come back and make payments. Okay, just like, do you want to buy this ticket now? Yes, you add your card details, or you pay by the account number generated on the app, or if you don't have money to pay it now, just add it on your cart. So it's just like a decision, but you're not designing the decision. Like, you're not designing, do you want to buy it now, or you don't want to buy it now? You're not designing it. But in the flow chart, it's actually going to tell the story, tell the diagram, tell the map that okay, when user doesn't have money to buy, they should just add it to their cart. But if they have money to buy, they should proceed on their payments process. Okay, so that is what that decision shape stands for. Now, before we continue, does anybody have question based on flow charts? Is there anything that is not clear, or is there anything you want to know about flow charts before we continue to wireframe? The floor is open. Are you guys with me? Okay, since nobody is saying anything, I believe we actually understood what flowchart is. So let's continue. Now, introduction to wireframe. What is wireframe? Now, wireframe is a basic outline of a diagram experience, like an app or website, used to design at a structural level. Just like the name, they look like they were created with wire and are mostly lines and shape with few text. It is commonly used to lay out contents and functionality on a page which takes into account users' needs and users' journey. Now, what this actually means is a wireframe is like the structural or skeletal form where you get to design or create them with wire, lines, and shape. Some might be it will have text with some text, but mostly no color, and sometimes they have color. So that is what it means. It's just like when you are trying to create the functionality of this particular product, functionality of a food delivering app or an e-commerce web application or even the event management application. Okay, so wireframe typically take place after the initial stage of research, user personas, and user flow. But before the high fidelity design and the prototyping phase, once designers have a solid understanding of users' needs, behavior, and overall structure of the flowchart, they begin to translate this insight. Into visual representation. Now, remember I read it is wireframe comes immediately after your flowchart. As long as you have the structure of how you want the system to be or how you want your user to navigate through this product, you can go ahead and create the flowcharts where you have to combine your lines and shapes with maybe few text. Okay, so wireframe, let's say after your research phase, after your user personas, after your information architecture, you can call it information architecture, you can call it a flowchart, but I think I will as time goes, I'm going to explain the difference between information architecture and flowcharts. As time goes on, I'm going to explain that at the end of the class. So after that, you can just move on to your wireframe where you have to design it with lines and shape and some text, where you have to do maybe few you're going to do your prototype, which is like the wire flow, and then push for users to actually test this product. You can actually do it on a piece of paper, or you can use your FigJam, or you can use your Figma to do this wireframe. Okay, so you see that anyway is actually okay. Now, wireframe serves as a bridge between the user experience and the detailed design phase. This can be drawn by hand or create digitally. Just like what I said, you can actually do it on your drawing book, or you can do it on your FigJam, you can do it on your Figma, depending where you want to do it. Now, it can be drawn by hand or digital or created digitally, depending on how much detail is required. Now, during wireframing, designers create flowcharts, simplified sketches or diagram layout that outline the basic structure, layer, and functionality of the product interface. This wireframe focuses on key elements such as the navigation, content replacement, and interaction points, allowing designers to explore different design solutions and interact quickly based on feedback. Now, this is what it means. Now, if you're creating your you're creating your wireframe with paper, there is no way for you to push this paper. There's no way for you to push this paper to users to test your product. You give me paper and you say I should test your product. Is it puzzle that I want to play? Because users might actually not understand that pattern. But if you design your wireframe on a piece of paper, this is where you have to work with your team. Example, your physical team. So wireframe on a paper can be the same way you did your flowcharts, where you have to call your team for you guys to be on one particular page. That is the same way paper wireframe can actually work, where you have your team of people together. This time around, they are physical, not virtual. They are physical, where they have to go through the papers together, and you guys are on one page. Okay, but if you do your your wireframe. Why am I saying flowchart? When you do your flowchart digitally, this is where you do the prototype. This is where you can push this link to people to actually help you test this product, to actually help you, okay, navigate through this project. You're not going to do it just casually, just like that. You're actually going to do it in a way a user is actually going to understand, okay, this is actually a flowchart. By the time you add colors, add your desired fonts, you add the kind of button shape you want, the kind of shadow you want, you know that, okay, this is actually going to be the final stage of the design. But for now, you should just do the design in the way your user is actually going to understand. Now, let's go back to the first image where I showed you guys how wireframe look like. Now, you can tell from this is actually a school or educational application. Now, this is the home page. So when I click on topic 1, it takes me to get started. Now, let's say my topic is topic 1. I click on topic 1. It's going to show me all the topic I have at the cafe, market, introduction, traveling, shopping, transportation. And when I click on let's go. Okay, let's say I want to browse on tutors. I click on see more. By the time I click on see more, it's taking me to this screen where I can either filter the kind of tutor I want. Let's say this is CareerEX, where you get to see all the tutors on other track, where then you want to search for my own profile to read my bio to know about tutor Helen Chimike. Then that's when you will now have to filter, put my name, and then when my result comes up, you click on it, and then you have to read my information. If you choose to send me a message, you can go ahead and send me a message. So if you're doing your flowchart should look in this format. Although this is actually a different type of flowchart. Your flowchart should look in this format, actually understandable. At least when someone who is not actually a tech person look at it, the person should be able to understand what you did, and the person be able to
Ma, you are muted.
interact with this product to say, okay, if there's anything you need to adjust. Can you guys hear me? Okay, somebody should unmute and tell me if they can hear me. I actually got disconnected.
Can hear you, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry about that. Okay, so your flowchart should be in this format that your user can actually understand and then navigate through that product. Okay, so let's continue. Now, okay. Now, wireframe serves as a blueprint for a final design, providing a foundation for further refinements before moving into prototype and the development stage. Now, you could tell after your flowchart, you've done your diagram map and all, and then you move it into the skeleton part of your design, where a user is going to actually navigate through the products to get feedback, and then once they're done, you've gotten user satisfaction in it, then you can now move to giving the product to the development stage for developers to code the work. Now let's talk about the purpose of wireframe. What are the purpose of wireframe? Why is it very important? Why is it necessary? One, it establishes the basic structure of a page. You want your page now. Okay, now let's talk about people that don't want to do the research, don't want to do the flowchart, they want to do the wireframe. They just want to jump into Figma and then they want to do their work. And then you open Figma, you start looking around. You say, okay, this one is like this. Even if you want to look at these people's work, you're going to have a paper or a or a digital tool where you're going to say, okay, let's say I'm designing a landing page, a food landing page. On my hero section, this is how I want it to be. On the second section, this is how I want it to be. The third section, this is how I want it to be. The fourth section, this is how I want it to be. So this is like, it's giving you the basic structure of how your page is going to look like. Now, wireframe is the perfect way for the designers to guide how the users will interact with the interface. Before adding visual consideration like color or image, they serve as an outline to guide the team on the same page early. You guys have analyzed the flow chart. It's perfect. You've gone back. Michael and Shaga has gone back. Okay. They'll say, okay, oh yeah, you go and bring this your inspiration for this landing page. Shaga, go and bring your own inspiration for landing page. And then they are back. And then they will now compile their two inspiration, and then they will create one landing page using lines and shape. They've not added color, they've not added image. It's just line, shapes, and text. And then they bring it back to the team, either by Google Meet or physical, depending how their team is. Then they will look at it together and say, okay, this is perfect, this is okay, why not take out this, why not bring this section to the bottom and take this section to the top, something like that. Now, to give you the basic structure of how that page will look like. So by the time you're done with getting the perfect structure for that page, that is when you can now go ahead by putting your desired color, using your desired font, using the particular image you want to use, using the particular shadow you want to use. Now, the number two part is it highlights the intended functions of the page. Wireframe specific features will clearly communicate to your clients how they will function and what purpose they will serve. For example, the function of a button should be clear and it will be shown through the way it is drawn. Now, you've added your button in your wireframe. Do you want your button to be short and small? Do you want your button to be long and curvy? Do you want your button to have this pattern? Do you want to have your button to have this pattern? Why is this button on this particular page? What is the functions of this button? I'm just using button for example. What is the function of this image? Why is this image going to be on this particular side of this screen? So it will just show you some intended functions of a product, like why is this important? Why is this going to be here? Why is this going to be here? Now, the next one is it serves times and resources. Just like what I said when I said Marvelous is a client and she has paid so persons, and imagine she paid 1 million naira for us to get the job done, and they skip wireframe. They just pick, and then design. And by the time they are done, they get their payment. And when Marvelous push the product, the people are complaining, oh, this is not done well, this is not done because the designers skip flowchart and wireframe. They skip it. Now, by the time the Marvelous will say, okay, I'm getting another person to do this job, and then you see how she will spend more money. She has spent time. Imagine time. Imagine it took you 6 months for you to get the job done, and users are complaining, oh, this is not actually satisfying. There's a lot of errors in it. And then you call back again, you are spending another time. Let's say and people involved are not saying, okay, it's going to take 1 year for me to build this product. And now imagine you've wasted a year and 6 months, something you can use 6 months, or something you can just use 1 year and then get whatever you want to get done. They are incredibly cheap and easy to create. In fact, if you have a pen and paper in your hand, you can create search on the wireframe without spending money. And now this is another format to where you say, okay, basic structure of, now let's say I've given you an assignment. Go and design a landing page, and now there is no light in your area for you to charge your laptop to use Figma or FigJam to do your flowcharts. To do your wireframe, to design a landing page. You know, your task is go and design a landing page, and then you've used your phone. Now your laptop is done. Now you've used your phone to gather inspiration. You have a drawing book, you have a pencil. All you have to do is just to draw how or sketch how your landing page is going to look like. You've sketched it. So once you've sketched it, whenever they bring lights, all you have to do is just to snap what you have and then move it into your Figma and then start designing, instead of starting all over to look for an inspiration again. From wherever you want to look for inspiration, start mapping out the wireframe before designing the normal UI where you have to add your color. You could see that you have actually saved time and resources. You don't even need to stress yourself again by start starting all over again. Now, while you're waiting for light, just use your phone, use your drawing book, and then map out how you want your screen to look like, and then you move to. You see that you've actually saved time and resources without spending one naira. Now, what are the types of wireframe? So we have three types of wireframe, just the same way we have three types of flowcharts. Now, in wireframe, we have what is called the low fidelity, we have the mid fidelity or medium fidelity, which is called mid fidelity, and we have the high fidelity wireframes. So before taking a brief on each of them, what is fidelity? Now, you'll be hearing fidelity now. It's a type of wireframe. You're hearing low fidelity, mid fidelity, high fidelity wireframe. What is fidelity? Now let's see or know what is fidelity. Fidelity is how closely a design matches the look and feel of a product. So that is what fidelity actually means. Now let's explain the types of fidelity. Low fidelity. This wireframe has a low amount of complexity and it is less refined. It's usually served as a design starting point and is used when we want to get ideas out quickly. It intends to be a very rough, created without any sense of structure. It intends to be fairly rough, created without any sense of scale, guide, or pixel accuracy. It is called low fi for short. Low fidelity. The short name is low fi. You take the low and the fi from low and then the fidelity. You join it together, it's low fi. So whenever you hear low fi, mid fi, high fi, just know that it is low fidelity, mid fidelity, and high fidelity. Now, wireframe, low fidelity wireframe is just like a rough sketch. This is how it look like. A rough sketch. This is what it just look like. Something you've done on your drawing book, or even using your, for those people that have tab, you just use your tab, open your FigJam on your tab, and then use your pen to just map out something like this. Now, during when we are trying to navigate through when we are navigating through FigJam, I showed you guys how to use pen, marker on FigJam. So you can actually just open your FigJam, use your pen or marker to just draft out something like this. So this is how your low fidelity look like. So this can be drawn on a digital tool or even on a piece of paper, where you have to just, like, you can, from here you can tell this is login screen, this is home page, this is search result, this is detailed view, this is review screen, and then this is review summit. So this is how a low fidelity actually look like. It's not even alive. If you look at it, if you bring our drawing ruler, you see that it's not even alive. So it is just very rough, created without any sense of scale. There's no grid. We didn't use grid system to, okay, you must use grid system to arrange them. No. Low-fi is just something that you just sketch. Okay, this is my home page. Okay, what I want is going to be, we have the image, we have the input field where you're going to put your email, we have the input field where you're going to put your password, and then we have the button. Just something like that. Just something like that. Okay, just something like that. And then you have the home page. You put this, you put this, you put this. Just this is how it just look like. Just like I'm gonna use let's say a rough sketch of how your design or your interface is actually going to look like. Now the next one we have is the mid fidelity. Now this is how a mid fidelity look like. It's like in between your final designs and let me use the word. It is just like the upgraded version of your rough sketch. It's just like the upgraded version of your rough sketch. Though this is actually having this is actually aligned because you use your grid system to design it. If you check, everything is aligned. The lines are straight. The button is straight. Although the image inside is not straight, of which is perfect for it. The way you arrange your text is aligned. Everything is aligned. So this is like the upgraded version of the low fidelity of your rough sketch. Now we have the high fidelity. Now this is 80% final design. This is like the 80%, or let's just use the word 95% of your final designs. Where you say high fidelity wireframe are detailed representation of your user interface that closely resemble the final product in terms of visual appearance and functionality. High fidelity wireframe include more visual elements such as color, typography, image, and interactive components to accurately convey the look and feel of the final product. So I'm going to say high fidelity is 90 to 95% of your final design. Now you've seen this beautiful design, how it look like. So high fidelity or high feel is just 90 to 95% of how your final design that you're going to move to give to the developer will look like. Now, in all these things, or in all this wireframe you're doing your low fidelity, you have to do the prototype, just like this image that we have here. Now, just like this image we have here, you can tell that this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. Now, in low fidelity, I don't actually advise designers to push their design out there for people to test it, because if you push this kind of thing to me, I'll ask you, please, what is the meaning of this jagara jagara you did here? So how many persons do you want to start explaining that this jagara jagara you did here is this and this and this and this and this? Not everybody will actually understand what you actually did here. So that's why I said, whenever you do your low fidelity should be a discussion between you and your team, your group of team, where you have to say, okay, I have done the diagram and everybody said this is okay. Now I have moved this diagram, this map, into the interface part where I get to show you, okay, if I am on this particular shape in this diagram, this is what this shape means in the screen. Okay, now remember, in the flowchart, a diagram, like a shape, is actually a screen. Your shape, like the process shape, is a screen. So on this particular let's say this was project or product review, it's actually a screen. Okay, so that now you've explained to them, okay, now I have moved this out of flowchart, this is how it's going to look like, where you have to discuss your low fidelity with them. Then for the mid fidelity, now those things you did on your low fidelity, you will just move it into the high fidelity the same way, but in this part they are going to like have a structure, they're going to use your grid system, they're going to be aligned, they're going to be arranged, everything's going to be in order. And then you do your wire flow. Remember, we said wire flow is a type of flow chart. Then you do your wire flow on it, and then you can now make the link accessible for everybody, and then push it out there for people to actually test your product. They should go through them, click on this button, where is it going to take you to, blah blah blah, and all, and allow users to give you feedback on this your project. You're going to allow users to give you feedback on this your project. If they are satisfied, there's no way you will not do a project and you put it there and user will tell you, I am okay. There's going to be, okay, why not move this button from this top to the bottom? It's better. Why not make your button to be long instead of short this way? Why not change this your button? You put button here, button here, button here. Why not change this see more button into a text link? Everybody is going to bring their suggestion for you, because you don't want to put too much button to confuse your users, because by the time you put 3 buttons, 4 buttons, you will confuse them. Which one am I clicking? Which one am I going to click? Just like giving them puzzle, they have to choose one. They are going to be confused. Am I making the right choice? Blah 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 and stuff like that. Okay. And then when you get your feedback, then you move those feedback. When you're doing your high fidelity, you move those feedback into your high fidelity. Those feedback that your users have said you move them, change it, adjust it to the way the user wants, do the prototype, and then you move it. Remember, I said the high fidelity is just 90 to 95% of how your final design is going to look like. Your final design is like the of your design, where you have everything in line. Your high fidelity sometimes might look like this, where you have it might look like this, or it might look like this. So the only difference between this high fidelity and your final design is just the color. You have the images there. Sometimes it's the color, sometimes it's the image. Now, when you have the everything, the pattern of the button you want it to have a particular shadow, you want it to be very curvy like this, you want your icon to be outline icon, the icon that is just not fake icon, like it's not colored like your battery. It's just the straight icon where you have only the line. You want your image to be like this, you want this to be like this. So the difference between high fidelity and your final design is just different. It's just a little thing where your high fidelity might not have um image but have color, just like this, but have all the color, have everything. But your then the other one is it might have color but doesn't have image. So that's why I said it's just 90 to 95% of how your final design is going to look like. So that's how high fidelity is. Okay. And then you do the prototype by adding the positive or the feedback that your user has given to you, and then you push it back to this same user for them to navigate through your product and then tell you what they want. So once you are done, you gather all the positive feedback from your user. You can now implement it on your high design, then do the final prototype, and then push the link to the developers for them to code your work. So this is what high fidelity actually means. So types of wireframe, we have the low fi, which is the skeletal version of your wireframe. We have the mid fidelity, which is the upgraded version of the skeleton design, and then we have the high fidelity, which is 90 to 95% of your final design that doesn't have either image or color, but everything is actually aligned and then structured in very perfect way. Now, what is the benefits of wireframe? What are the benefits of wireframe? Wireframe informs the elements to include in your design. Now, one benefit is what elements are we adding in our design? What kind of button are we adding to our design? What kind of images are we using? Is it colorful image or is it just black and white image? What kind of icon are we using? Are we using outline icon or we're using feed icon? So feed icon is like icon that is painted. Icon is just black or white. Icon that is painted, or outline icon is just icon that is just line icon. So I don't know if you can see these screens here. So these icons here, 1, 2, 3, are just outline icon. Why this? If it's I don't know if you can see the whole of my screen. Like this Apple logo here, this battery, this do not disturb, this icon here, they are feed icon, but these ones here are just outline icon. So it's going to tell you the kind of icon you're using. It's going to tell you the kind of button you want to use. Is it curvy button or is it straight button or is it sharp end button? It's going to tell you just the kind of elements you want to include in your design. Then the next one is going to catch problem early. It's going to catch problem early. Let's say, for example, you made a mistake or something is not actually clear, or you got a better solution. Aside from once you did on your flowchart, you can actually tackle that problem on your wireframe and then go back to your flowchart to make the adjustment. Wireframe gets stakeholders to focus on structure. Now, stakeholders get to focus on structure, and that is why wireframe is important. When you've done your flowcharts, you've explained to them, tell them the navigation, tell them the diagram map and all. Then you're going to do your flowchart and have a discussion with them where they get to understand and focus on how the structure of that page or that project is going to look like. Now, the next one is wireframe allow you to save time and effort. Just like what I said, if you don't have light in your area and you want to design a landing page, instead of waiting for light to come before you can use your design to map out how a screen will look like, you can actually just use your pencil and drawing book to map out how that page will look like using your phone to get inspiration. And once the lights come, you just get to open Figma and then start designing the screen, because you can see that you've actually saved time and effort. Please just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, sorry about that. Someone actually rang my bell. Okay, so wireframe allows you to save time and effort. Just do your thing on a piece of paper, and then you are uh, you are good to go to move to your design to just work on the design. Then another benefit is wireframe allow you to just initiate idea, just craft that idea very very fast when you are designing. Okay, you are designing this screen and you are stuck. All you have to do is just to grab your pencil and paper and say, okay, I'm going to move it like this. Just like you just need to say, okay, do it like this, sharp, sharp, and then you will continue. I think I have a friend that does that a lot. The day I worked with him, I think I learned that from him where we're actually working on a project and we've done the flowchart, we've done the digital wireframe. So while we are working on this screen, I learned that thing from him very, very well. When we were working on this screen, and what he did was just to say, this thing is not clear, it's not clear, it's not clear. And he just brought out his book and pen and then craft out something immediately. And then he moved it and designed it. You could tell that he had actually create an idea very fast, very quick, and then he just move it into Figma. So it's just like these are all the benefits of wireframing. Like these are the very, very important. Although there are other benefits, but these are the 5 benefits that I think is very, very important to us. Now, what is the difference between flowchart, user flow, and wireframe? Remember, I said you can call it flowchart, user flow, UX flow. So now I want to know the difference between wireframe and flowchart. Now, both of them are essential tool in the UX design process, but they serve as distinct purpose and focus on different aspects of the design. Now, for the wireframe, it is like a visual representation of the user interface, providing a structural outline of the layout, structure, and elements within a product or system. Now, they focus on visual interaction aspects of a design. The placement of contents, navigation elements, interactive components, and overall the aesthetics. Now, wireframe helps designers and stakeholders to visualize the user interface and its functionality, allowing them to experiment with different design concepts on layouts and refine the user experience. Now, this is like the visual representation of how your UI design is actually going to look like. Now, wireframe serves as a blueprint for the final design, providing a detailed guide for your visual and interactive elements of the interface. While the flow chart, on the other hand, are diagram that illustrates the sequence steps, action, or decision within a process or system. Flowchart focus on the flow. Flowchart focuses on the flow of information or tasks or the connection and relationship between different stages of a process. They help designers map out the design user's journey and identify potential paths that the user may take, and also understanding the interaction and transition between various screens or states within a product. Flowcharts are variable for analyzing workflow and identifying bottleneck and ensure a smooth and user-friendly experience. So you can tell the difference between flowcharts and then wireframe. So in summary, wireframe are concerned with the visual and interactive aspects of a user interface, providing a detailed representation of its layer and structure. While flowcharts focuses on the flow of tasks or information within a process, helping designers to understand and optimize user journey. Both flowcharts and wireframe play a complementary role in the UX design process, working together to create cohesive and user-centered digital experience. Oh yeah, ask me a question.